How's it going, everyone? I'm back with another quick Autodesk Inventor tutorial explaining how to how to attach motors to VEX structure using assemblies in Inventor. So I've got a quick chassis that I built up here, and there was some bearings on it and some parts in place. This is a pretty common square bot assembly, and then let's get this motor attached in the same way that this motor here is attached. So let's jump on in. So first off, to set yourself up for success and to make this as easy as possible, it is important that you place your flat bearings first. Make sure your flat bearings are directly attached to what you're using here. So the reason for that is that this becomes a big pain in the buns if you don't have a flat bearing on there. This is that good old-fashioned problem we have with Inventor of trying to take a bunch of round geometry and attach it to some square geometry when there's not a whole lot of options. So if you don't have your flat bearings on there, you'll be using a bunch of funky constraints, and there will be about 4 of them, and it will be just a bit ridiculous. But with your flat bearings on first, we're able to get this done quickly and easily. You'll notice that I only have a flat bearing here. I did not have one attached to that piece of metal. That is okay. The reason why is we're going to use these 2 holes here to line us up first, and then tell the motor that it needs to attach to that piece of metal. So let's jump on in. This process will take 3 constraints, and then one of them is going to be lining. Let's get it moved here. This hole to that hole, and then this hole to that hole, and then the last constraint is going to be getting this face attached to the backside of that. So let's do it. I'm going to open up my constraint window. I'm going to leave it on mate, and I'm going to let Inventor automatically select what it wants to select here. So let's get this hole here, and notice it doesn't really matter where I grab this, because if I select this rounded face in mate, it selects the axis. So I can grab this rounded face, this rounded face, this rounded face. Be careful to avoid selecting any lines and selecting any faces. You can even select this curved face here. Let's get this outside gold piece here where that threaded inserts are on these. Grab that axis, grab this axis. And I click apply. Now watch what it did. It pulled it closer here because that's just what Inventor does. However, I can still move it forward and backward, and I can twist it. I don't want to twist it, so I'm going to kind of move it back gently. Now don't go crazy because it'll flip all over the place. Let's get another constraint that connects this middle hole here up with this rounded face there. So I'm going to get this axis, by selecting that rounded face, this axis attached to that axis. Now you can see I'm only able to translate forward and backward. We're 2/3 of the way there. This gets significantly easier the more constraints you add, and this is not a hard process in and of itself. Let's add, lastly, a mate constraint that attaches this face. I'm going to use my view cube here to flip around to the face of my C channel. Notice I'm not going to select this face because my motor is set all the way back here. I'm going to select this face and apply. So now I've got my motor attached. Oh, that's all it took. 3 constraints. I took 2 axes and put them together, and then I mated the surface of my motor to the surface of the C channel. And that's it. That's all you got to do for it. However, the key here is that you have your flat bearings on first. That is always the key here. You have your flat bearings on first. But that's all I got. If there's any questions, as always, let me know. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.